against you. So let's get into it. So here's the truth. Motivation isn't reliable. It's not this magical force that's always there when you need it. It's fleeting. It comes and it goes based on how you're feeling, our energy levels, our stress, and even the environment we're in. And here's the kicker. Motivation is often thought of as an emotion. It's like waiting to feel motivated before you take action. But the reality is that motivation is actually a byproduct of action. You don't get motivated and then act. You act first, and then motivation follows. So think about it this way. Have you ever forced yourself to start working out even when you didn't feel like it? And then suddenly, once you get moving, you actually felt more motivated to keep going. And that's because taking the first step creates momentum. And that momentum fuels your motivation. If you're waiting for motivation to magically appear before you take action, you're going to be stuck in the same place for a long time, because real progress happens when you act first, and then motivation catches up. So let's get into the science of motivation. There's actually a neurological reason why motivation works the way that it does. It all comes down to a little chemical that we've heard of before in your brain called dopamine. And dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, but it's actually much more than that. It's the brain's way of signaling that a reward is on the horizon. And here's the fascinating part. Dopamine is released when you anticipate a reward, not just when you actually get it. And that means setting small, achievable goals that you can look forward to will actually trigger that dopamine release. It's like giving your brain a little taste of success before you even get there. And that's why breaking big tasks into smaller, more manageable steps can make a huge difference. So let's talk about how motivation ties into your habits. You may have heard something called a habit loop, and it's made of 3 parts. The first one is cue, and this is the trigger that initiates the habit. The second one is routine, and this is the actual behavior or the action that you take. And the third one is the reward, and that's the positive outcome that reinforces the behavior. So let me give you a practical example. Cue, seeing your running shoes by the door. Routine, going for a 20-minute run. Reward, the rush of endorphins or a sense of accomplishment. And once your brain links the cue to the reward, it naturally seeks the routine because it craves the dopamine hit. And that's how habits are formed. You're essentially programming your brain to get motivated by the reward you've associated with the routine. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make in setting goals, they make them too big or too vague. So when your goals feel overwhelming, it's easy to lose motivation because your brain doesn't see a clear path to success. So instead, break your big goals into smaller, more manageable milestones. And if your goal is to lose 30 pounds, start with a goal of losing 2 pounds in 2 weeks. Celebrate the small win because it fuels your motivation to keep going. Because remember, it's not just about setting goals. It's about setting the right goals that trigger motivation by being achievable and specific. So how do we know that motivation even works? Let's talk about how to create it and keep going. So the first way we create it is to start small. When you're lacking motivation, the hardest part is to just get going, to get started. So commit to just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes of organizing, 5 minutes of planning your day. And once you start, you're more likely to keep going because the momentum takes over. Number 2, be clear, be specific. Set clear and specific goals. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, say, I will work out for 20 minutes every morning. The clearer your goal, the more your brain knows what to do. Number 3, use visual cues. Leave little reminders in place that you can't ignore, like sticky notes on your bathroom mirror or your running shoes by your bed. Make it impossible to forget your commitment. Number 4, leverage social accountability. Tell someone about your goal. Post it in our community. Share it with a friend. When others are watching, you're more likely to follow through. Social accountability. And number 5, celebrate small wins. Give yourself credit when you make progress, even if it's minor. Recognize your wins. By recognizing those, they trigger the dopamine release that reinforces the habit. So here's your challenge for the week. I need you to identify one small goal. Pick something that's easy to start but meaningful enough to make an impact, like drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. Number 2, create a cue. Set up a reminder that prompts the action, like putting a water bottle next to your bed. Number 3, plan your reward. After you complete the task, give yourself a small reward, like a few minutes to relax or read something enjoyable. And number 4, track your progress. Use some type of a habit tracker or a simple checklist to mark each day when you succeed. Because remember, small, consistent actions add up to big results over time. Motivation doesn't come from just doing something huge once. It comes from doing something small every day. So again, motivation isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating habits that keep your drive alive. So start small, act consistently, and celebrate every step forward. Because this week, let's focus on building our own motivation through intentional actions. Don't wait for motivation to just come knock on your door. Go out and create it. So overall, thanks for spending the start of your Monday with me. I hope this resonated with you. I want you to start this week with a little extra drive, and let me know in our comments what small goal that you're committing to, and let's really keep each other accountable to it. So until next time, take care of yourself. Remember, motivation is something you build, not something you wait for. All right, I'll see you in the gym, guys.